now that you know what a deponent verb is, it's time to learn to conjugate them. And the easiest way, and these lessons will only work on the present system, that is the present, imperfect, and future. The perfect system conjugates just like you would a perfect passive, that is, you're going to use what here is the third principal part and a form of to be. So we won't deal too much with that, but it's worth thinking about at least the present system to wrap your head around deponent verbs. So remember, a deponent verb is passive in form. So we're only going to use the passive endings, are, ris, tour, more, mini, and untor. Right, so keep that in mind. These are the only endings you'll find. So let's take a look first at the first and second conjugations. Remember, the first conjugation is marked by an A. The first singular, I try, conor. All right, we've got our O and then the R, so conor. And then the first conjugation is marked by the A. So we're going to keep our same stem that we would if it were an active form. But instead of conas, it's conaris. So conor, conaris, conator, conamor, conamini, conantor. Remember, there are no active meanings, or are no active endings. So this is just as if there was a verb kono, but we use the passive endings. Conor, conaris, conator, conamor, conamini, conantor. And the same works for the second conjugation. So just as if we were to do the passive of habeo, and we would just add an R. Here's wereor, to revere, or to fear. Wereor, and we're going to keep this E throughout. We have a stem of were. So wereor, wereris, weretur, weremor, weremini, werentor. Now the third and fourth conjugations get a little more dodgy, just as they did in the active forms. Our first person singular, so sequor, to follow, I follow, sequor. But in the second person singular, remember in the second singular passive, that initial I changed to an E. So sequiris, sequitur. Now we go back to our I. Sequimor, sequimini, sequuntur. So there's a little bit of a shift in these vowels. Sequor, sequiris, sequitur. Sequimor, sequimini, sequuntur. In the fourth conjugation, this is the fourth here, experior, that I is going to stay throughout. That's a strong, long I. So experior, there's our passive endings, experiris, experitur, experimor, experimini, experiuntur. So the difference between the third and fourth is that this is a weak I, and so it's going to shift around a little bit. But the strong I of the fourth conjugation will not. Now let's take a look at the subjunctive, the present subjunctive. Now the present subjunctive is going to form just as it did for the active voice. We're going to use our mnemonic. We fear a liar. Right? So for the first conjugation, we're going to use the E. We're going to shift our vowel from A to E, which we see here. So coner, coneris, conetur, conemor, conemini, conentur. Our initial A is shifted to an E. And the same rule applies to the second conjugation. So here we're going to use the fear, the EA. So we're going to shift our, we're really adding an A to that stem E. So werear, werearis, wereatur, wereamor, wereamini, wereantur. Right, very easy. The key to the deponent is to just remember that the ending will no longer be those active endings, but the passive endings. And the third and fourth conjugations, subjunctive, are, again, just as easy. If you remember, we fear a liar. Sequor was third conjugation, so we're going to replace our stem vowel, which is that short E, with an A. So sequar, sequaris, sequatur, sequamor, sequamini, sequantur. And the fourth conjugation, we're going to use our IA as our stem vowel to mark the subjunctive. So experiar, experiaris, experiatur, experiamur, experiamini, experiantur.